Hello, Pete Tucker. How you doing?
Hey Sean Gaffney, I'm good, mate. Yeah, really good. It's been a busy 5 weeks,
Yeah,
but I'm good.
awesome. You're a dad now.
Yeah, I
It's
know.
almighty.
It's amazing. It's the best thing ever. I'd recommend it, but tiring and yeah, clearly the running's already taken a hit. But yeah, got a wee girl and love her to bits. Yeah, it's brilliant.
And but everyone else, welcome to episode 5 of the Scottish Running Podcast. And so this week we decided to go down a wee different route. We've been flattering you, we've been spoiling you with elite Scottish athletes, but this week we're going to focus on the club level. And
Don't spoil it. Let me introduce him.
oh
Don't
yeah,
spoil it.
yeah, yeah, he's your mate. I hate the guy. I didn't want him on the podcast in the first place.
And I'm not surprised at that at all, to be
Yeah.
honest.
I mean, the guy actually said to my face, Sean, you're ugly and you can't read good. So I was dead against it. But since you're a good
Ah,
friend, Pete, I decided I'll let bygones be bygones for the podcast. So,
that's separate then. I thought you hated him for another reason, or he hated you for another reason, but no, maybe not. Okay. So,
no,
so can I take it from here then, mate?
of course you can, mate. Right
Brilliant.
on.
Okay. Well, as you said, yeah, slightly different. Obviously, we've been really lucky. We've had some illustrious guests so far. And we're going to continue that today with the guy I'm going to introduce later on.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's certainly up there on the same kind of kill in terms of top level, and his banter's amazing. So he's certainly up there. But what we're going to do, we're just going to have a not for too long, but a little bit of a chat, a bit more about you and I. I don't think we've said too much about us. People might not be interested, but hey, it's our podcast, so we can do what we want. And if people want to listen, then great. So I'm going to just go straight into the deep end. We do a little quick fire round, so I'm going to hit you with my questions, and you're
Are
going
you
to do the
asking
same.
me?
Hey,
All right.
yeah, is that all
Yeah.
right?
Oh, yeah, if you want to, yeah.
The only thing I would say is, considering it's me that's come up with these silly little questions, is I've not actually practiced or learned what my answers are. So we'll just wing it, mate. That's what I do in life anyway, and it's done me okay really so far. So right, straight in over to you. So Sean Gaffney, your best achievement or proudest PB?
Hmm. I'd say
Right,
probably,
moving on. Next question. Oh, sorry, no, go on, mate. Go on.
probably my proudest PB is marathon. Ran 2:44 debut, so I was quite happy with that. I know your debut's 2:23, but Pete, I've had heart problems in my life. I mean, so 2:44 is
Yeah.
not bad for a guy with a dodgy heart. So,
Mm,
but
okay.
I'd say my best achievement actually, and Craig Goody would agree with this. My best achievement is running 2:07 for 800 meters.
Okay.
For a guy with
Yeah.
no speed, I somehow managed to run 2:07 and a negative split as well. I was 65 and a 62 at Linwood.
Decent.
Yeah,
Okay,
so
mate.
don't know how I managed
Great.
that.
Yeah, we won't. No, listen, mate. That's honestly that's impressive. Yeah, my marathon PB was, as you said, on debut. We're not going to mention. Well, you already mentioned the time. I didn't. That was many moons ago. I'll be honest. I was on the juiced up to my eyeballs. It was perfect conditions as well, and it was. But all I would say is it was pre cheat shoes. So clearly, if I'd have had cheat shoes on that day, I'd have probably run about, I don't know, 2:12 or something like that for the marathon, I reckon. But anyway, right, moving on. Your favourite male athlete other than myself?
A favourite meal. I'd have to go for Stefano Baldini,
Oh, great
Italian
shout.
Italian guy, won the
Yeah.
Olympic marathon in Athens. I
Okay.
just I remember watching that at the time, but it was mainly because of him why I got into running. Just watching him, his style made it look so easy, and
Yeah.
that was kind of. And then watching Bekele as well, I was like, I want to try and get into running. But Stefano Baldini, for a guy, he he was always there and
Okay.
amongst the world stage, and then he just one of them Olympics. It was just his day.
Oh, listen, mate. That's a good shout, and it's going off a little bit rather than your sort of standard. A lot of the names we've heard so far, and I'll be honest, this is not me mugging you off. That'll come later. But I'm actually genuinely impressed with your knowledge of athletics. Like you've got quite a decent, not quite on the sort of Derek Hawkins level, but you've got a good knowledge of athletics. So right, favorite female athlete.
Favorite female athlete? Not Safan Hassan anyway, not her.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Um, favorite female athlete? I would probably have to say I think it's either between Liz McColgan or Joe Pavey.
Okay.
I think just because I think Liz McColgan just incredible, but Joe Pavey at that age, about 40,
Yeah, yeah,
winning European champs, I just thought it was incredibly impressive. And the way
yeah,
she kicked away from everyone, all these younger
yeah.
athletes when she was age of 40, thought it was amazing.
I'm not saying that I inspired Jo when I met her, and you've seen the photo that I've sent where I posed with her, where I met her in Potchefstroom in either 2001 or 2002. I'm not saying that is what sort of spurred. It's probably what spurred her on, to be honest. Yeah, I'm sure you picked up the quote reference there. Right, moving on. By the way, I don't want to keep Shieldsy too late because, as you know, it's my fault. Like, obviously, I've had a bit of a daddy daycare and get my dinner in, get my run in. So let's move on and make it an actual quick fire round instead of me waffling. So, favorite? Oh, in fact, not right. I know the answer, but I'll give you your time anyway. Who's your Fitbit team?
Who do you think?
You tell me, mate. Let our viewers know.
Celtic.
The Celtic, the famous
No,
Celtic.
no,
With
no, the Celtic.
just
Football club.
sorry. See,
Glasgow Celtic.
again, right? Okay, I don't have the knowledge, And just to be clear, I am completely independent and impartial of the old firm, Glasgow Derby, whatever you want to call it. We're not even going to get into that. Might do when Craig comes on. I haven't. Yeah, Craig. Just said Craig. I haven't fully revealed yet. No, I have revealed, haven't I? I said Shieldsy. Right. Anyway, so yeah, we won't go into too much there, but. Yeah, Celtic, I believe they were the first British club to win the European Cup. I think I've heard that once or twice. But anyway, moving on. Your favourite movie?
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood or Lucky Number 11
Wow, not seen
or
either of them.
or Leon, the professional.
Mate, I said your favourite movie, not your favourite top three.
Listen, you can't pick a favourite movie. There's just too many. In my
Right.
world, there's too many.
Fair enough, mate. Well, listen, I've genuinely not seen any of those three. So when I listen back to this, I'll write that down and then I will watch them. Right. Next one. Most interesting person you've met through running. I know I'm a strange or interesting character, interested in some respects, but who's your most interesting through running?
I remember years ago, Ruddy will tell you we were being coached by Laurie Spence and some random guy showed up. He was harmless. He wasn't all there, but he was like, he would look, basically what they would think he was trying to get into coaching and stuff. And Laurie being, no, he's just a really good guy, Laurie. And he's like, Laurie, can I come and coach with you? And Laurie's like, yeah, just come and wear a stopwatch, etc. But it's just one of the, I can't even remember his name, but we had a guy trained with called Andrew Campbell, and Laurie and Andrew was just mental. Like he would be like, it's 5 times a K, Andrew. He'd be like, oh, can I just do 400? Like, no. And then he would do like one of the Ks, and he'd be like, and he's take off next one, and then but during that time, that guy would be like, you're slowing down. Like, so the whole back of the park, like, who's this guy? But he always sticks out like a sore thumb. I was like, where did he come from?
Okay. Well, sorry, just quickly, roughly what year was that?
I was probably talking 2009,
That's great.
2010.
It's definitely not me you're referring to. Fine.
No,
I
it's
was just
definitely not you, mate.
moving on. Right, your favourite race. Let's pick up the pace because it's my fault. We're keeping Shieldsy late. Favourite
Favorite
race.
race is still in 10K.
Perfect. Okay. Yeah, and that is coming up soon, I believe.
Sure is.
Great. Okay. Favorite food?
Pizza.
Pizza. Okay. Any topping? Pineapple?
I get pineapple. Don't you ever mention that pineapple again. Pepperoni, extra cheese, some jalapenos. Done.
I was just checking, and I'm sure Stefano Baldini would agree with you. No pineapple. Okay. Phobia or pet hate?
Pet hate. People who've got great hairlines. That's what.
Grey
People,
hairlines.
people
Great
who have got
hairlines.
people who've got great hair and
Yeah.
they do really shit stuff with their hair.
Yeah.
That's what I hate.
Okay. I'm with you on that. Okay. And then I don't know where I've got this question from, but finally, it seems to be 11 questions now. Your favourite poker hand?
Poker hand. Jack 10.
Okay, great. Right. It's over to you now, mate. If you want to ask me some questions or chat anything else, go for it.
let's do it. Right, Pete, how did you meet Jackie?
That's not on my list of questions. How did I meet her? I met her in Tenerife on a lads' holiday, which the three of us, and they said I completely ruined it by falling in love with a girl. That was on the second night. Yeah, I met Jackie in Tenerife, same place we subsequently or later on got engaged. So yeah, good place. Yeah, got her a few drinks, a few Jaeger bombs. She definitely wasn't drunk. She held my hand, not the other way around. I didn't hold her hand; she held my hand. There's a lot of dubiety around that. And yeah, we just got on really well. She loved my banter. I told her I had a tight calf muscle. She told me she was a physio. And then we've now got a daughter and we're married. So that's it.
Done. Well done. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Who was your first friend in running?
Mate, where are you getting these questions from? My first friend in running. That is a tough question.
Except for me, everybody.
I'm going to go back several years. I don't just sort of gone our separate ways. I don't really speak to him too many anymore. But I'm probably going to have to say a guy called Dan Ayrton, as in Ayrton Senna, Ayrton. Dan Ayrton went to my school. He was a good footballer. His dad was a professional footballer for Portsmouth, so good sporting genes. And he was very very talented, a good runner. But yeah, quit the sport quite early on, but really a lot of potential. I think he ran 30:25 for 10K, maybe in his teens, like late teens, and yeah, he could have gone on from there. But he was really good at. He was one of those guys that was really annoying. He was good at everything. So that's that.
Nice. And so, what's your best achievement or proudest PB?
Well, okay. Obviously, my proudest PB is going to be my marathon, 2:23:12, London 2008. I'll be honest, that was at a time. Show me that again.
Huh?
I didn't even clock. What's on the cup there?
No, just my mom. Nothing. That's just my mom's.
Right. Anyway, yeah. So I'll be honest. It was at a time when the standard wasn't actually the best. So somehow I managed to come 26 in the whole race. So yeah, absolutely chuffed to bits with that. I was the 7th British guy home that day on debut. Went perfect. Negative splitted by a couple of seconds. Yeah, great conditions. Just went really, really well. Got to 20 miles, felt great, and just thought, well, I'm feeling great here. I'm not like time to push on a little bit. And yeah, it was amazing. Got to 23 miles, and there's always my old club, Blackheath Harriers, a big contingent, always at the 23-mile point. Really spurred me on. And then all I can say is, yeah, I could talk to you about this for hours, clearly, as our guest will tell you. However, one of the key points sticking out for me, I'm running down like last mile or mile and a half of the London Marathon, and I see a guy with a Shaftesbury Barnet Shaftesbury Barnet Harriers vest in front of me, coming towards me, and then I'm looking, and it's like this guy called Dominic Bannister. He's won the English National Cross Country Champs, which a different level to me. I managed to come 99th one year, which was amazing, really good for me. I'm not a cross country runner, but still, so that was my best, and I probably even got lucky, probably better than I deserved. Like I scraped into the top 100, 99th in the English National. He's won the English National, like completely different level to me. But the marathon is a different ball game, as you know, and as a lot of our listeners will know, it's a different beast. And then to the caliber of athlete like that coming back towards me just gave me extra motivation to just run past him. And like, yeah, I mean, he probably beat me by, I don't know, 6 or 7 minutes over a cross country race, like on a hilly course, ridiculous. Like. So yeah, that was my proudest PB. Best achievement, I would probably, it's a tough one. It could be getting selected to run for a national team, and that's all I'll say on that. Moving on.
Okay, it's Scotland. And so, your favourite male athlete?
Favourite male athlete, very simple, Haile Gebrselassie.
Nice. Favourite female athlete?
Favourite female athlete, I hadn't even thought of that. Favorite female athlete, I'm gonna go with. I'm on the spot here. Favorite female athlete, it's gonna have to be a marathon runner. It can't be her. Who else could it be? Mate, I'm going to come back to you on that.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm not actually fit my team because you support any team that Steven Gerrard goes to, so I'm not gonna
Liverpool
bother.
won the Champions League 6 times and the league 19 times, possibly 20 this season. But yeah, we'll see. Right, next one.
Nice. Favorite film?
Favorite film? Oh, it's going to have to be Gladiator. Yeah, Gladiator with Russell Crowe, closely followed by, I know I might be you off for saying three, but closely followed by any of the Hannibal films, Silence of the Lambs, Hannibal, Hannibal Rising, Red Dragon, etc. But Silence of the Lambs is an absolute classic. But I'm going to go Gladiator.
Nice. Makes a lot of sense as to why you like Hannibal Lecter. Makes a lot of sense now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You didn't get that joke, yeah. It doesn't matter. Favorite race?
Favorite race is going to be the London Marathon, closely followed by the Swanley 4.2 mile Christmas Caper.
Lovely. Favorite session?
Favorite session? It's a different kind of session. Don't know if it is my favorite, but I like doing the K on K off float sessions. They're good.
Yeah.
However, a session that an old coach of mine who's coached me to my best running times and marathons, despite me trying my own different things, and then even when I've gone our separate ways and gone back to him with a begging bowl saying, "Would you just set me a schedule for my next marathon?" It's always come good. A guy called Gordon Cooper. He used to set me. It doesn't really sound like a marathon session, but it was something I would do to work on a bit of speed work. It would be 12 400 meters with a 200-meter float. So it was, again, I can't even remember the times I'd be running him in now because nowhere near what I used to. But yeah, you'd be looking to maybe run the 400s in, say, 72s, roughly 3-minute a K pace. And then for the 200 float, you were still keeping that honest-ish. So I would say maybe around 45 for the 200. So that's like 6-minute miling. So yeah, that session.
Nice one. And favorite food?
Favorite food is going to be macaroni cheese made by Uncle Bill.
Oh, Uncle Bill?
Yeah, my Uncle Bill.
Oh, right. I thought it was like a brand. I was like, it was Uncle Ben, get the pap now. Your phobia or pet hate?
Phobia. I don't really have a phobia. Pet hate is gonna. There we go. My pet hate is gonna be. My pet hate is going to be people that give their opinion, especially young people, especially people with very extreme views, maybe liberal, maybe to the left, no one in particular, and it is genuine, but it's people that give their opinion and just think their opinion is fact, and they're not prepared to listen to anyone else's view. Listen, I'm very stubborn, I'm very opinionated, and I like to think I'm always right because I am most of the time. But however, I like to think that if someone can put their viewpoint across, even if I don't agree with it, I'll respect it. I'll listen to their opinion. And if someone can convince me that actually what they're saying is correct, then I can come around to that way of thinking, or at least listen to what they got to say. It's just people that are obsessed or adamant that what they say is gospel. And a lot of the time, these people haven't got any life experience at all. They've not been in the real world. And so that is a real pet hate of mine.
Nice. And what's your favourite poker hand?
Reminds me of yes, actually, do you know what? That's brilliant because that has just reminded me back to question 2. My favourite poker hand is related to one of my favourite female athletes, and yeah, because I can't think of it, it's not going to be a marathon runner. It's going to be a heptathlete called Katarina Johnson-Thompson, who supports the greatest football team on the planet, Liverpool. Nice. And so therefore, Johnson-Thompson. Let me make sure. Katarina Johnson-Thompson, yeah. I knew there's no T in there for the 10, so it's KJ basically, as in King Jack. So King Jack suited ideally.
Nice.
That's it. Right, let's move on then because we're keeping Shildsy late. So did you want to talk about just a few results quickly, mate?
I just wanted to say, ever since we interviewed Neil Gourley, he went and ran 3:30.6 or so for the 15th. So now he's up to 6th.
I thought that was going to be my bit. I thought I was going to do that bit.
I lied.
You've said it now. Right, go on. Yeah, you're right. Up to 6 on the UK all-time list for 1500.
Yeah, so looking good for the World Championships. And
we're not saying that his sort of increasing his PB is anything in any way, shape, or form whatsoever to do with the fact that he spoke to us, but it probably is.
It most likely is. It was probably the morale. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think? Listen, mate. Be honest with me. Do you think any of it could be to do with the fact that I probably sort of hinted at him that he should probably increase his long run a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely.
Brilliant. Right. Sorry, mate. As you were saying.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Gemma Reekie as well. Just going for the Scottish athletes. She won the British, and she ran like 1:58 as well for a 15. So that's
She is a quality athlete. Love watching her run, and local girl from Kilbarcombe.
yep. She's looks if she's in cracking shape going into the World Championships as well for the 800. So
Excited for that. Yep.
close at home we had that. Was it the QA 5K as well? I think it was a really
Yep.
well organised event. It was like paced races. It was kind of like a mile meet, except a lot more numbers. It was just for 5K. A lot of like Christian Jones, he won the top race in like 14:21. But also in
Okay.
that race, Mark Doherty and Gregor Yates of Inverclyde AC,
yes, boys.
40 years old,
Representing.
both of them. Vets now, 40s, and they ran 14:54 and 14:56. And that's Mark Doherty training for a marathon as well. So
Let me just say, by the way, as you'll know yourself, but not all of our viewers will do if they haven't had the privilege to meet him. Mark Doherty, what a lovely guy, and his brother Colin as well. I've had the privilege actually of meeting Mark's family because he got me out of a sticky wicket. We'll have him on at some point to speak to talk on our podcast, definitely, because he's got lots of good stories. Obviously, he got into running years ago, been off the scene for quite a while, and now come back with a vengeance, running the best he's ever done. He is an all-round great guy. I lost my car key in Edinburgh after a half marathon, and he saved me, took me in with open arms into his family. He might regret it now, but took me into the family home, fed me, watered me, whilst my wife came and picked me up from Edinburgh, and she wasn't too happy. But he's a top guy. He's really knowledgeable about the sport. Gregor's a great guy as well. He's feeling a little bit lack of motivation at the minute. So me and you, we've got our own little WhatsApp group, just the three of us. We won't say what it's called, but we're going to get onto him and get on him because he's got a lot of talent.
He's got lack of motivation, and he's just ran 14:54.
I know, but listen, there's more to come from him. But where he was running a few years ago, that's not like even Pete Tucker was beating him around the Renfrewshire 5 around the Battersea Park, and now he's just moved on. He's obviously, let's be honest, he's smashed my PB, which
took off.
I'm gutted about, but really pleased for him at the same time. But sorry, mate. You were saying, go on.
And then I was at mile meet at Scotstoun as well. Used to be shout out to Jason Kane as well. Jason Kane ran at 17:06, a big PB for him on the track. He's now on from years, try to be consistent. He's consistent-ish and get his PBs. And it likes up. And then a wee shout out to a wee local guy called Dylan Crawford. He won the Dunoon 10K, and that was just a couple of weeks after winning these. He left Inverclyde AC to join the other team in the town, Glen Park. He said he wanted to join Glen Park because he wanted to win the club championship, and he did that. He won it just a couple of weeks ago. So well done to Dylan. And
a man of his word.
A man of his words. He's doing absolutely brilliant. And
he's a good guy, and he's a bloody good table tennis player. I fell foul of that in Riley's or whatever it's called now in Greenock once.
Yeah, and he took a lot of money off you that night as well, didn't he?
Let's not talk about
that. So, any other results from yourself, or shall we crack on and get your best friend on?
Yeah, I will introduce my pal. No, just very quickly, not much from me, because as always, you're the organised one. So thanks for going through that, mate. No, just quickly, again, I haven't done the full research into it, but it'd be stupid not to mention this Saturday on the 12th of August is the Devil of the Highlands foot race, which is the second half of the famous West Highland Way ultra marathon. So this is the second part of it. It's a 42-mile trail ultra marathon, and it goes from, let me get this right, Tindrum, and obviously finishes at Fort William. Don't know, haven't seen too much about the entries. Interested, I don't know whether Rob Sinclair might do it. He's the course record holder for the West Highland Way. He was down to do the West Highland Way but had to withdraw. The only person, just again from checking Strava earlier this evening, I've not actually met him myself, but we follow each other on Strava, and he's really gone places. Don't know the guy, just know of him, know people that know him from our rival club, Greenock Glen Park Harriers. Kyle Wilson, boxing background. You probably know him, probably met him. But I did see on Strava, I believe he's down to do it, and I think he's won the Dunoon Ultra and possibly another one.
Oh,
so yeah.
What happened in the Dunoon Ultra is a guy, like he's a boxer, but he's
this guy Kyle Wilson. Yeah,
he's a boxer. He lives in Port Glasgow. I think Chris Mackay knows him, and Andy McCall knows him really, really well. But he get into running, I think, with Andy McCall, and I'd never met a guy before, but obviously Kevin Donoghue and stuff, so he's a great guy, and It probably is. If he's a runner, then everyone is mainly a good guy. But I think they're doing ultra. He's been training for a long time. I think he goes up in the hills and stuff with like a weighted vest on, and I think he just loves that kind of ultra scene. But
Yeah.
they did an ultra. In the lead was a guy called, you probably heard of him, Mike Deason. And
That's right.
then
I ran with Mike in the Anglo
yep,
Celtic Plate 100k this year, and
yep,
he beat me. I ran with him for a lot of it. Got to chat to him, but
yep.
yeah. So he was
He
leading it.
was
Yeah,
leading, right?
that's
But
right.
I think the finish is like you turn left onto like the pier, right? But then Kyle caught him, and then Mike Deason. This was like a mile away or whatever. I don't know the full details, but Mike Deason was like that. Oh, are you? Because there's two races at one time. There's a shorter race, and then Mike Deason was doing a longer one, but he didn't know Kyle was doing the longer one as well. So he thought Kyle was in the lead for the other one. And he's like, Kyle, are you winning the other one? He's like, no, I'm doing the longer one. Mike Deason was like,
Hmm.
oh crap. And then he beat him by like a second. So one
Yeah,
second in an ultra race.
and let's be honest,
Imagine
like
trying to sprint.
yeah, and you'll probably know a bit more about Michael Deason than I do. Although I've raced him a few, I've seen him at like some of the Babcock 10Ks, and he's got pretty good credentials. I.e., some like reasonably fast 10. I don't know off the top of my head, but I would definitely say he's in the region of 31, if not sub 31 minutes. I'd imagine he's a 30 something 10K runner.
Yeah,
So yeah,
yeah.
decent. And let's be honest, this guy Kyle, I've not met him, but I don't think he's anything in that. He's just totally different. Like he does gone into ultra running. He's obviously
Yep.
strong.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah, be interested to meet Kyle at some point and chat to him.
Yeah.
And well, interested to see how he gets on the weekend. By the way, I have messaged Shields,
Oh,
who I will put.
he's. I put it on that chat, so he's currently in the waiting room.
Okay, get him in, and I'll do the introduction once he comes on.
So 1, 2,
Oh,
3. There's a wee.
Hello, I think I've got you.
Oh,
there he is.
there he is.
Right, okay, back over to me. So I've not actually done the full-on introduction as yet. So obviously, me and Sean have just been wittering on for longer than we planned. Lovely cup you've got there, Sean. Yeah, so I hadn't actually seen it properly, mate. That is ridiculous. Well, we need to talk about that later. Anyway, you're ruining my introduction because I'm absolutely stoked to introduce our next guest. Now, as you know, Sean, we've been really, really lucky. We've had Olympians, we've had like world medalists, people that have won team medals at the World Cross Country Champs, chair of UK athletics, some absolute class athletes. So without further ado, Craig Shields from Garscube. Hi, Craig.
Hi Pete. Hi Sean.
Hiya.
Hi.
So,
How are you,
Craig,
mate?
yeah, obviously, thanks for coming on. Just briefly for our viewers, our avid viewers that are or avid listeners that want to know, Craig is a pal of mine. We were introduced. It was almost like a blind date. At the time, Sean was being coached by another guy. I'll let Craig talk about that if he wants to. So this other guy was coaching Craig. I knew the other guy, and then just like that, yeah, melting pot. Me and Shilsey were introduced via WhatsApp, agreed to meet on a street corner in a place in the wider part of Glasgow, who we live less than a mile from each other, coincidentally. And then there's been a bit of a bromance that has blossomed from there, where Craig has been my life and running counsellor, and I coached him to a marathon PB. I just thought I'd mention that. So yeah, is that accurate, Craig?
100% spot on, Pete. Like, yeah, it's a version of the truth anyway, isn't it?
Well, you tell me it from your point of view, and just to confirm whether we are friends or running acquaintances. Sometimes there's a bit of dubiety depending on what side of the bed you get out of, or how late I am to meet you for a run. But yeah, I believe we're pals.
Yeah, so I made the biggest mistake in my life back in 2019 when I told my coach at the time that I was looking for a running partner close by where I live. We're talking about the importance of having other people to run with, and he remembered that he knew none other than the legendary Pete Tucker. So very quickly arranged a exchange of numbers and had me set up on a blind date. Not gonna lie, I was nervous, and yeah, I met Pete in a random street corner, and yeah, the rest is history. We're now definitely running acquaintances.
Okay, thanks for clearing that up. Yeah, no. So, and again, yeah, Craig. In all seriousness, we do a lot of training together, and it's been good to watch your progress. And yeah, I think it's fair to say that both of our fitness levels kind of up and down. Sometimes they meet in the middle. A lot of time they sort of cross over. There's definitely been periods when you've been running really well, and I've not been quite at it, and I've been chasing you in sessions. But let's be honest, most of the time you're obviously chasing me down, which I quite enjoy. I like having other men chasing me. But no, in all seriousness, we've done lots of running. I mean, amount of hours we've put in together and graph, like, and I'll be in all seriousness, it's helped me massively. Even our run today it was good. That's helped me out. And yeah, again, just one of our more memorable. We've done a lot of good runs. I mean, during lockdown, we did a little 5K around our little 800-meter loop. There's some dubiety about the exact distance of this loop, and it's referred to as the cheat loop, but it is definitely at least 800 meters. And you and I have run around that. I think I did about a 15, 17 5K in cheat shoes on the cheat loop. You weren't too far behind. You ran really well. Alan John Myers came over and joined us. And we've done a lot. You've had to part with me, wittering on about the Anglo-Celtic plate. You can talk about that in a moment, how much you've heard me mention that. I think I've mentioned my marathon PB once or twice, but you can confirm that. And yeah, you've helped me out on some of my long runs. I've been doing like 50K training runs. You've got me through like maybe 20 miles or maybe only 5 because, you know, big boy shit. You're not really cut out for ultras. You fucked up excuse my French, you messed up your ankle once, which you blame me for. But another good one was we did a 10-mile tempo run. You got away from me, and then it was meant to be tempo, but I was sprinting at the end to catch you, which I did. We did that in about 55 minutes, I believe. Was that 5:30 mile in for 10 miles? Yeah, there were days when that was a walk in the park for me, but now that's some going. So yeah, it's been a privilege to run with you, mate. So yeah, tell me a little bit about your version of events from our training and my chat during our runs. Sorry, I should just add your job title. I don't know what you actually do. I'm not sure if you're a teacher or a janitor or if you just turn up at schools, but I believe you're a pastoral assistant or something like that. I don't know, but you've given me a lot of counselling over the years, so thank you.
Yeah, pastoral care teacher in a secondary school, but my full-time job these days is youth counsellor.
Yeah.
I mean, most of our runs go the way this conversation has gone so far. You talk and I pretend to listen.
Okay.
So yeah, taking it back from when so that first run we went on, that's the first time and that's the only time you've been on time for a run. Since then, again, much like this conversation, I wait about for you. But yeah, if I'm going to give you any kind of praise, like you do have you've got a strong running background. I didn't, so running with you is kind of opened my eyes to how I need to train for marathons. So I'm definitely a marathon runner these days. So spend a bit of time training with you over lockdown, and then definitely the build up for London 2021. Was it we did London 21?
London 2021. That's where you ran your PB 2:36:30. Just to clarify, that's the one where I use the term coach loosely. I'd set your schedule. Is that correct? And prior to that, your PB from 2018 was 2:49. Yeah, obviously we're massively up for revision, but still, that 2:36:30 was a great run, mate, and I was proud of you.
No, you're proud of yourself.
Yes.
I have gone on to run faster when I was self-coached, but we'll talk about that later.
You have, yeah. Thank you for that.
But yeah, the point I was trying to make was you set a schedule for you. It was maybe a slightly watered down version of a schedule you were following, but training with you, just showed me just maybe how light my training had been previously and what I had to do to get to that next stage. You know, like getting out for runs even though I was tired, like trying to do tempos on tired legs, trying to get up over 60, 70, 80 miles per week and do it week after week after week. So yeah, training with a higher level athlete is certainly been a good thing for me.
Wow.
But it's certainly come at a cost. Like for most people, running is therapeutic.
Great. Okay.
Me, it's maybe not so much.
Craig, what you said, everyone said about Pete's background in running. You know, everyone said about it. But when did you start running? So when were you a youngster, or was it later on in life?
I ran as a kid. I did track and field as a teenager. I ran for Victoria Park. But I kind of drifted in and out. I was always torn between running and football. I kind of stopped running late teens, 16, 17. Gave it up just because I wasn't seeing the success I wanted to. I was training with a group of really good athletes. Vicky Park had a brilliant junior section back then. So there was sprinters all the way through to middle long distance runners. We all kind of trained together at different times. And in training, I wasn't as good as these guys, but I could train with them. I wasn't too far off them. But when it came to competition, I was nowhere near it, and I wasn't getting the success that I thought I was capable of or wanted as a kid. I just wanted to be successful. I wanted to be fast. I wanted to be winning races, and it wasn't happening. So I fell away from the sport. Dabbled a little bit at university, but nothing serious. And then through my 20s, I suppose I wasn't really doing much. I was playing a little bit of football, go to the gym, I jump on a treadmill every so often and try and hit a 5K as hard as I could. And if I was getting anything between 21 and 24 minutes, I was considering myself in not bad nick. But 2014, in my early 30s, I started running. So I was, I'm a school teacher. We're taking a group of kids to Kenya, of all places. And as a fundraiser, I decided to do a marathon. So I started doing a bit of training and just really, really enjoyed it. Loved seeing the progress I was making. Loved feeling fitter and healthy. So yeah, took it from there and kind of year on year, just kind of increased my mileage and taking it a bit more seriously. To the point I'm now running just about every day when I'm not injured, and I'm bordering on obsessed.
Brilliant. That's great. And so again, just to clarify for our viewers, so the club that you run for, and I know there's been talk and I'm sure there's been lots of other big clubs that have tried sort of tapping you up or that have come in for you and stuff, and there's been rumours about Bosmans and this, that and the other, but just to give our viewers a bit of an idea, those viewers that are a bit further afield, I think we had a viewer out in Spain actually, is that not right? I think that was you on holiday. Yeah. So thanks for that. But yeah, no, the point is, so again for our viewers, so clearly mine and Sean's club, Inverclyde AC, we're not directly in Glasgow, but we're in, I would say, Glasgow in the west, that sort of area, so it's fairly close. And we've got the two big clubs really are Inverclyde AC clearly and Greenock Glen Park Harriers. So just to put it into perspective for our viewers, so your club is Garscube Harriers, is that right? So yeah. In terms of a football analogy, say let's take Merseyside for example. You've got big clubs like Liverpool and Everton. I guess Garscube would be kind of like the Tranmere. Would that be fair to say?
No.
No.
No. So Garscube's established we're going to celebrate 130th year or something like that. So a long established club.
Right.
Massive numbers. So a huge fan base. We're certainly not the money bags. We're certainly not the Man City, the Newcastle. If you're very similar to Newcastle, actually, you've got the strip and everything. Okay. We're not paying massive sign-on fees, and we're not paying our athlete. I don't know.
No, listen, I just need to come in there quickly. All I would say, if I was you, my advice to you, whether you choose to take my advice, you never normally do, but I'd be very careful about talking about clubs and when they were established and what year they started and stuff like that, because we might come on to that a little bit later. So yeah, just I'd be a bit wary of that if I was you. But moving on from that, no. So just in all seriousness, tell us a little bit about Garscube, because I'll be honest, obviously I follow the Garscube page on Instagram. I know a few of the guys. I've had the privilege of meeting some of your teammates. The big Colin Whitby, I believe Finley Squared. He's one of your guys. There's another younger guy. I can't remember his name. You probably know the guy. I mean, he's running pretty well at the minute. And obviously, clearly, there's some ultra running royalty within your club, which I'm a bit jealous of. You have got Ultra DMC, which is just an amazing Instagram handle. We're going to hopefully get to talk to Debbie Martin Cassani at some point, and obviously her husband Marco Cassani, who anyone in Scotland who knows anything about ultra running will know or have heard of. But yeah, tell us a little bit about your club. What it stands for, what it means to you, and yeah. tell us about Garscube.
Yeah, so I said when I was young, ran with Vicky Park, and as a teenager, we looked at Garscube as a bit of a joke club. They were maybe much the way you're describing Inverclyde look at us. But back then, numbers were really low. They looked like they were fading away. Some of the older members talk about turning up at a club night and there'd be 4 or 5 bodies turning up, but it's turned around massively now, and I say there's huge participation numbers. I don't get to club that often now. Just they're based in the northwest of Glasgow. I stayed locally when I joined them. I moved away. I've got a couple of young kids, so I don't get to training sessions very often. But numbers are massive. There's I don't know exactly, but upwards of 50 people turn up at the track on a Tuesday night and go for temper on a Thursday night. The junior numbers are huge. They're up there along with Gift Not North, the biggest number of junior members are participating juniors, especially in the cross country season. What I've maybe struggled with over the years is the kind of top end. But the ethos of the club is about just inclusiveness and getting people out running. It's not really been focused on, winning Scottish championships and producing the top end elite runners. But I say with this massive number of juniors we've had, we've seen much more success in the junior ranks in recent years. The trick now will be to nurture the junior members through into successful seniors. We lose a lot of to universities, and we don't always get them back when they come back from uni. But you can see that changing now. Young Finlay, you've mentioned there, is running incredibly well, one of the top under 20 athletes in the country.
So what's his name, Craig? Sorry, just confirm who we're talking about. Finlay
Rose Davies.
Okay, yeah.
So there'll be more like that. So I think the next 10 years or so, you're going to see more and more Garscube runners up at the top end of races and featuring at that kind of level. So
nice one.
But it's a great club to be part of. Big social scene. Really nice guys, friendly guys.
Good to hear, mate. Yeah, that's good to hear. And would I be fair? Would it be right to say I think you've actually got a fairly decent, in all seriousness, a fairly decent sort of masters kind of setup as well. You've got some good V35s, V40s, and above. I think you were telling me actually you had the displeasure of getting your ass whooped by a vet 50 on a session on Saturday just gone there. So, but no, so tell us about that. And also, as I said, I think you've actually won a few races, team prizes. Obviously, as you'll know, my club, there's me giving it the big one, but we've got some decent masters. But it's like any club, it's getting your top guys out fit and healthy and a bit of communication, all focusing on one race. But when you boys turn up, you generally do pretty well.
Yeah, absolutely. For whatever reason, there does seem to be this kind of gap in our senior men's and ladies. But when we get to masters, veteran levels, we're very, very strong. We've got a lot of good runners, and we will be competitive, especially in the cross country season. So, yes, I had a humbling experience on Saturday morning there, where Mr. John Coyle absolutely annihilated me in a cross country session. So loads of good runners.
Great. Okay.
Quite a few medals this country season coming up.
Okay, and just one other thing. I mean, obviously, Sean. What I'll do, I've just got one other question before I'll just should have done this earlier, but we'll quickly go into our quick fire round. Obviously, I know you're our main listener to the podcast. You're one of the 3 people that tune in, so thanks for that. So you'll be familiar with the setup. So I'll hit you with those questions shortly, and Sean will no doubt have a couple of questions for you as well. But no, also obviously I wanted, in fact, this might even come up during the question and the quick fire round. But before we get onto the quick fire round, I just want to let our viewers know that you obviously did really well in the Scottish Veteran Harriers or the Scottish Masters cross country trials. I think that was last year. Is that right? And you got your first selection for Scotland, and you ran in the British and Irish Masters cross country race for Scotland. So tell us that must have been a proud moment for you in all seriousness, and tell us about that.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was masters, and I know some people don't take it that seriously, but for me it was a big deal. Coming into the sport later in life, in my early 30s, and didn't ever think it'd be a possibility. So to have that opportunity, it was a big thing for me. I was really proud of it. It was lucky that trial race.
Yeah, tell us about the trial. How did that go? Was I in that race?
Were you? I didn't see you.
Yeah, well, I was. Yeah, I participated. I didn't really race, but I was there
somewhere. Yeah, so the way it worked, the top three for each age group were getting selected for the Scottish team. And I managed to finish second V40 on the day.
You had a good run.
I'd say it was a good timing for me. I was training for the Toronto Marathon at the time, and it fell perfectly in the training block. I was at my absolute peak fitness. You were. I'm not a good cross country runner, but that day the ground was really firm, so it was like running road. Conditions to me perfectly. So yeah, a really good run. Got my selection. It's unfortunately the actual international wasn't quite such a positive experience. But
these things happen, mate. Where was that race?
I was over in Dublin.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, that was just the other side of the marathon. So I went in on marathon legs, not very fresh, and had an absolute shocker. But
got the vest. Well, you got the vest. What was that vest like? What was the kit like? Who's it sponsored by?
Why'd you ask?
No, I'm just intrigued, mate. Whether the kit was, obviously you've seen the fancy kit that the actual Scottish internationals get given. You might have seen that, I don't know. But tell me about the Scottish Masters kit. What was it like?
It's navy blue. It says Scotland. It's Scotland badge on it. It's I can't show you just now, but it's above my mantelpiece on a frame.
Spit right in his eye. Just spit right in his eye. Don't let him get to you.
Right, listen. Okay,
in the frame that I've got it in, it says the date and obviously the race. So I know that I got that for a real race, a real event that people care about. It's a cross country, well established, respected.
No, listen. In all seriousness, fair play to you. A national vest, whether it's masters, seniors, juniors. Like one of mine and Sean's mutual friends got a GB vest because someone had a fight with someone, which meant someone got disqualified, and they blagged a Great Britain junior cross country vest. But even so, fair play to that guy because he has got a GB vest, which is something neither Sean or I will ever achieve. Well, I might do if I keep going further and further up in the distances till finally enough people are like, sod running that far, that's just ridiculous. So the further I go, less people hopefully turn up. Maybe I'll get a GB vest. I don't know. But yeah, no, in all seriousness, well done, mate. I'm proud of you, and you deserve it as well. Right, Sean will come in, but I'm just going to quickly go through this quick fire round. So, Craig Shields, best achievement or proudest PB, please?
My marathon PB, 2:33 in the Toronto Marathon. It's the one I'm proudest of.
Brilliant, great. Okay, your favourite male athlete?
Favourite male sports person of all times, obviously Super Ali, right? But if we're going running only,
sorry, Super Ali. Just elaborate, because some of us don't know who that is.
Because you're not Scottish. Ali McCoist.
Oh yeah, I've heard of him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Athlete, like if you're allowed sprinters, it's Usain Bolt. It's got to be Usain Bolt. Like, absolutely love the guy. Like, proper showman. Did so much for athletics.
Do you wanna?
What?
Do you want to show us his? I can't remember that. What's that celebration thing he does?
Nah, it's fine. Distance runners, Haile Gebrselassie.
Yes, my man. Yeah, good shout. Okay, great. And favourite female athlete?
Laura Muir, I think.
Brilliant shout. Yeah, love a bit of Laura. Great athlete. Okay.
When you go then, quick fire. I'm not allowed to elaborate. Go for it. When you go.
No, elaborate. Tell us about Laura Muir and how you know Laura.
I don't know. I just think she's a great role model. While she was at vet school, she lived close by to Garscube where we train. I'd see her on the canal from time to time. Just think it's just inspirational having somebody like that kind of right there on your doorstep. And combine her studies with her running. Great role model, I think.
Yeah, no. Let's be honest. She's very impressive. Yeah, and excited to see what else she can do, obviously with a change of coaching setup. But yeah, good luck to her in Budapest. Okay, right. Question 4, my favourite question on this list of questions for you, considering our host. Who's your favourite football team?
Yeah, the mighty Glasgow Rangers. You know that.
The mighty Glasgow Rangers. Okay, and again, just to clarify, like, listen, I as I said, I'm impartial. I know it's rumoured that I support lots of different teams, whether I feel like it. My father-in-law played for Greenock Morton. I've got massive respect for them. I like Rangers because Gerrard was there, and I have also got a connection with someone quite high up in the hierarchy at Rangers at the moment. I'm not going to name him, but I'm quite good pals with someone else there. Always had a soft spot for Celtic before I moved up because of the King Kenny Dalglish connection, but in terms of Old Firm, Glasgow Derby, whatever you call it, I'm impartial. But however, as I said, I've heard some people telling me that Rangers only started in 2012. Other people telling me they've been going for years and they've won 55 titles. So which one is it?
This is a quick fire round, Pete, and a running podcast.
Okay,
yeah.
Right, moving on. Question 5, favourite movie?
The Matrix or Anchorman.
Okay, brilliant. Okay. Most interesting person you've met through running?
Pete Tucker.
Obviously. Okay. And interesting, that's open to interpretation, I guess. Favourite race?
Probably got to be the London Marathon. London was just immense.
Same. Brilliant. Okay. And your favourite session?
Used to always be the shorter stuff, like probably 800 reps, like 8 by 800 or something like that. But
I hate 800 reps.
I know, and it was always good fun doing them with you, because it's one of the few sessions that I could probably run away from you on.
True.
But the more I started doing it, the more I've got into marathon, and I really started to like the kind of longer Sunday runs, the longer, the proper marathon specific long runs. You know, doing a good 7 mile at marathon pace or something like that in the middle of a 22-mile run, or 20 miles at a good steady 6-minute mile or something. You know, so
at a good clip.
Aye, yeah. They become more and more enjoyable.
So not 12 400s with a 200-meter float. Then I believe you've done that session a few times. do you want to tell us how that session went when you did it with me, or not?
I didn't like that one. It's funny because I should like that because it's the shorter stuff.
Yeah, considering you've got a good turn of pace and you're quick. You let's be honest. One time we did it at Limwood, you were pretty poor. I'm being honest, and you know you were.
The fast floats kill me. When I'm doing the short stuff, I need a proper rest.
Just on that note, again, just to keep this like fair and squarish, all I can't remember the session. You probably can. We went and did a session on the indoor track. Was it at the Emirates? And I wasn't fit. You were running well. You absolutely annihilated me. Like literally, I think it was K reps. You were just running away from me. And I'll be honest, I'm slightly scarred by that. But the tables are turned slightly at the moment. Right. Moving on. Your favourite food?
An Indian curry.
Indian curry. Okay. Phobia or pet hate?
I don't know if I get a phobia. Like, I'm scared. The swans scare me shitless. I hate swans. Like,
yeah, that's true. I witnessed that for the first time in the last two or 3 days. I thought Tommy Murray was scared of frogs, but you and swans, mate, that's ridiculous. You jacked it.
They're horrible. I don't like them at all. There's loads of them around our way. So
there are.
Yeah. So they're not very nice.
The cygnets are all right, though, aren't they? The wee baby swans.
No, not really. No.
Okay. Favorite poker hand?
Nah.
Yeah. 2-7. Okay. And then finally, your favorite office quote?
Oh. I don't. Do you know? You've actually. I told you today in a run. You've gone overboard with your office quotes. Like, it's all you've got now. So I'm actually sick to death of them. I don't think I like any of them anymore.
And that's the real quiz. And that's Crufts as well. So, right, Gaffney, anything you want to follow up on some of those answers regarding anything, athletics, football, anything? Over to you, mate.
No, just rather just speak to Craig for the next 5 minutes.
Go for it. I'm all ears.
So, Craig, you're training just now. So, what would you say is a typical training week for you in terms of mileage, sessions, the length of your easy runs, etc.
Yeah, I think it's funny when you've had good runners on over the last few weeks, and they can answer this straight off. Like, they can tell you what they do in the winter, what they do in the summer. That's the difference. There's just no consistency with me. Not saying that's the only reason that I'm not elite, right? But it's maybe one of the reasons. So I tend to, be in a marathon block, or I'm probably not doing an awful lot. Right now, I'm just recovering from an injury. But I suppose, when I'm fit and things are going well, a kind of standard easy run, maybe a kind of 8 to 10 mile run. I think Pete and I are probably quite guilty at pushing our easy pace a wee bit too fast sometimes. Running about 7-minute miling. I think there'll be plenty of days we could do with easing back a little bit. But yeah, tend to get an hour out for an hour anyway. On an easy day.
Nice one. And then you're kind of when you're in that marathon block. So when you're on your marathon PB, what was your big marathon session? What did that look like?
Like I was saying there, I think they kind of getting up to 22 miles or something total volume. We did quite a lot of things like 7 miles relatively easy, 7 miles kind of steady, and then 7 miles up to marathon pace. Quite a few of those. A few like your kind of 3x5Ks or things like that, But so looking back over my training, I kind of changed it up. I don't, each block it's been slightly different build each time. So it's not really been a kind of typical long run, but yeah, something like the kind of 777 is probably one of my favourites.
Nice. I've not seen that one before. One of my favourite marathon sessions was based 6K, 5K, 4K, 3K, 2K, 1K. They'd be all at marathon pace, but you get a K float in between. I really like that session as well. But I know I maybe need to try that Craig Ruddy. He's going to write my plan for Valencia, so maybe he'll watch this podcast and put in the 777. Sounds like a good session actually.
So Gaffney, you've got Valencia Marathon coming up in December. Obviously, there's a contingent of guys that are doing that. You mentioned Craig Ruddy already, a few other guys from my club. So yeah, and I believe my a teammate from the ACP earlier this year, Doogie Selman's doing Valencia as well. So nice. Yeah, excited to see that. And Shieldsy, so tell of you what have you got? I think you're doing the Berlin Marathon next year, but what else have you got? I think we've both got a race coming up, haven't we? In a few weeks' time. On my favourite service on the cross country. So tell us about your plans and obviously you're returning to fitness at the minute after injuries, Achilles related, and also your lower back. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so the plan this year was Berlin in September time, but had to shelf that. So I've deferred my entry and I'll be doing Berlin next year instead. Because as you've mentioned there, quite a lot of injuries last couple of months. So I did Manchester earlier on in the year. Didn't have a great run, went in Achilles niggles and things like that, but no real excuse, just didn't have a great run on the day. But since then, struggled for fitness. Achilles injuries. I've had some issues recently with my back. So just this week, I've really kind of made a bit of a return to some consistent running again. So this winter, or from now right through the winter, is going to be just about getting fitness again, getting a good proper kind of base period of training in. So I'm going into the new year kind of fitter, and next springtime we'll be looking at running some faster 5 or 10Ks. So I'm in a good position to start a proper marathon block for Berlin next year. But so hoping to do quite a bit of the cross country this year, just to develop a bit of strength and fitness, kind of force it. I'll be doing the trial race for the Vet Harriers international match. That's only about 4 weeks or so. So I know I'm not going to be going in particularly fit, but hoping to be able to go and have a decent run anyway.
Well, that's good that you're prepared to toe the line. Give it a go. Nothing to lose. There's some people that won't race if they feel like they're slightly not quite at it. But nothing to lose. Give it a go. Never know what can happen on the day. I plan to give it a go, as we talked about. But I don't think that's going to pan out very well for me. But you never know. I might just pull it out of pull it out of the bag. But yeah, anything more from you, Sean?
Well, just you come into your running. Well, you ran when you're younger, but then you went away from it for a bit. But coming into your running in your later years, like for someone who, if you get any advice for anybody who is in maybe like the late 20s, early 30s, who want to get into running, etc., and maybe not get the confidence and stuff, what kind of advice have you got for anybody?
Absolutely join a club. Like confidence there, like it put me off for a long time. I wasn't confident about joining a club. I just assumed it'd be very elitist, very cliquey, you know. But the minute I plucked up the confidence and joined a club, it was the best thing for my running. You know, I came on leaps and bounds. I ran maybe 2 years unattached, and then I joined Garscube, and it was brilliant. You know, just opened my eyes up to how I should be training. Made loads and loads of good friends, and it brought my running on leaps and bounds. So yeah, absolutely, join a club is such a good thing to do for any runner. I also say as well, like, know what do you want to get out of running? You know, what are you getting into it for? Know your aims and what you're trying to achieve. Then you can start working towards doing the right kind of things. You know, if you're getting into running to be competitive and to get fast, then you know you need to make sure you're doing the right kind of training. If you're doing it for for weight loss or just for your mental health, your running's going to look very, very different. So I think it's understanding what you try to achieve.
Oh, definitely. I think that kind of a lot of people put it off the like, oh, but if you join a running club, you know, everyone is amazing and I'll be the worst runner there. Like, no, no, you won't. Like, no, you won't at all. And I found
And even
that
if
when
you
I,
are, nobody cares. Even if you are,
I
like everyone's so supportive.
yeah, absolutely. And I think the like, I don't know if it's like, you know, people maybe tell you about English running community. I've not got a clue. I've never spent any time in England, but in the Scottish running community, everyone's sound, everyone's cool, like everyone's really
Yeah,
supportive, and everyone they give you kudos on Strava, etc. But no, it's a really welcoming community. So
yeah,
I can understand why people maybe get put off by joining a club, but like you said, it is probably the best thing you can do if you want to improve in running.
yeah. Another thing at the very start as well, to stick with it. Like, seem you're not fit and you start running, it's horrible. Like, so I'm not fit just now. We did a run today, and my legs are absolute bits. You know, I'm like, this is not fun. But once you get past that initial stage, once your fitness starts to come, then it becomes enjoyable. So I say, you know, stick with it, stick through the hard times. You know, like you see, maybe people are not in the best shape, going out for a jog, and they look absolutely miserable. I understand why people get put off so quickly.
Yeah, I think a lot of people as well, they go, oh, I'm out for a run, but I was absolutely dying, but you probably went off too quick, you know.
Yeah.
When you get into a running club, you know, you learn how to pace yourself,
Yeah.
etc. But no, it is the best thing I would say for anyone to get if they're going to get into running as well.
Yeah.
But you see it with guys like yourself, you know, people who like for example, we've got a guy just now in Inverclyde, a guy called Rob Patterson. He ran like 31:50 back in his late 20s, early 30s, and then went and pursued his career. Like he's a teacher and had a family. Now he's back running again, and he's in his 50s, but he's running like 16:35K again, and I think he's got the what is it the park run? It's the age grade. Like
Yeah.
he's got that record now at the park run and all that stuff, and that's just a guy that's came back into it, and he says he's just really enjoying it. But you do get the ones who maybe don't run other days, but then
Yeah.
turn up when they're 30, etc., and like Tommy Murray, and just
Yeah.
completely smash it, you know. So that could be you, Craig. Come the if you get over down in the injuries.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm quite robust enough to keep going later into life. You know, I see these guys like Paul Forbes, like smashing world records and things like that. And it was brilliant going to the Masters International and seeing these guys up close. But yeah, I don't know if I've got
Yeah,
that
you're
robust.
You're definitely not robust. I can confirm that you're not robust in the slightest. You're probably one of the least robust runners that I know. Yeah, it was unfortunate because you were particularly fit and running quite well, and obviously you now class yourself as a marathon runner, which is good. That's good to hear. But you've got the you're fortunate. You've got the advantage of having a good turn of pace. And you were going quite well in training, and you were obviously hoping to do the Monument Mile. Unfortunately, I took you on a run, which we did today actually, and you were totally fine. It's not really even off road, and as you know, you managed to clip yourself on the side of I don't know, some sort of slight indent of about 2 centimeters, and you went over and messed up your ankle. But no, so that was a shame because you were going quite well, and you were planning to do, I think it was a Monument Mile that week. So have you got plans to maybe revisit that race?
Well, since then I've definitely gone up the distances. I'm definitely more of a marathon guy now. So back then, I don't know, what was that, maybe 3-4 years ago. I was probably focusing much more on 5-10K stuff. So dropping down to a mile wasn't such a stretch. I don't know. Yeah. I'm just feeling. I'm certainly feeling my age now. I'm certainly feeling older. That's just putting up with you. I suppose it's done that. But but never say never.
Okay.
It's a brilliant event, a Monument Mile.
Good. Okay, and then sorry, so just a bit fast forward into the present. I think there's another race you were only just telling me today. I believe you've got coming up. I got a bit confused as to which one you were talking about, but I think it's the Stride Athletics. Correct me if I'm wrong. Flat and fast 5K. You're doing that. You've got an entry in Linlithgow, which is where one of our friends of the Scottish Running Podcast, Alan John Myers, is from, along with Alistair Hay, Ali Hay. I believe he's from Linlithgow as well. That's on is it the 22nd of September? Is that right? So
yeah, I'm pretty sure you promoted it a few weeks ago, so I got myself signed up straight away.
Well, thank you. Yeah, no, we don't want commission or anything, but so yeah, what's your target for that, mate?
Pardon?
What's your target for that?
I don't know. So 5K PB is 1608, I think, last year. But I'd love a sub 16 at some stage. I think I'm capable of a sub 16, but I'm certainly not in that kind of condition just now. It's only a few weeks away, so if I can get close to the 17-minute mark, I would take that just now as a sign of fitness returning, and give me something to work off over the next couple of months. Yeah,
based on where you're at the minute, obviously we both know, to be honest, there's a lot more to come from you, but you have to be realistic. You, just like myself, unfortunately, we don't have the divine right to just turn up and run the times that we know we can, or possibly even that we have done in the past, but you'll get there, mate, so good luck with that. Again, so just to go back to our cheat loop, which is definitely not short. I touched on that. So tell me, what did you run around there? Because that was impressive. Obviously, it's a fast loop. You had cheat shoes on. We know it like off the back of our hands. We train around it all the time. So what did you actually clock around there?
It was 15:42.
Right. So probably in reality about 17 and a half minutes then. So, but 15:42. In all seriousness, that was great, and you were clearly fit then. Let's be honest. Regardless of what anyone might say, if you were racing 5K on that day, the way you ran in those shoes, even on that loop. Now, not that if you were to run a 5K on that day, you'd have definitely gone sub 16, no shadow of a doubt. So, I take it you're aiming to get back down to that level at some point. Have you got a sub 16 in you?
I would like to get there. And so also my focus now is marathon. Like I said, I've run a 2:33 marathon, and I'd love to go sub 2:30. That is the goal. That's what I'm chasing.
Brilliant.
But if I can get myself 5K fit and have a crack at it, then I do think I can get sub 16.
Great.
And just the cheat loop. The cheat loop is short, right? We all know the cheat loop is short. Just look at either or Strava. Our splits around there are incredible. It is short, but it's the best place in the world to train. Like, it's the perfect loop.
Yeah.
And it's short, but your times are fast. You just feel brilliant. It's amazing.
And in all seriousness, we are going to, at some stage, I think I mentioned this to you, Craig. I've spoken to Sean about it, and obviously Jason Kane from our club. It's nothing, mate. It's very low key. But what we're going to try and do is get together, just more of just as a session or anything. We might do it as a bit of a what do you call it? a time trial or a what's the word? I can't even think of what you call it now when you all start at different times.
Handicap.
That's the one, the handicap race. So, i.e., the state you're in at the minute, you'll start about 3 minutes ahead of Sean. Sean will go 3 minutes after you, and I'll maybe go 5 seconds after Sean. Only if we're going at sub-17 pace, though. So yeah, no. The plan will be one Saturday morning. We're gonna just do like a 3K kind of handicap type race, based on what shape people feel they're in. So, i.e., if someone like the elite Gregor Yates was to turn up, he'd be scratched, so he'd be going off last. I'd be going like a minute ahead of him, etc. I'm sure you guys know the gig. So we'll try and just do a 3K around our cheat loop. So yeah, we'll post that online. Just if anyone else wants to turn up, any random people or any of our listeners, yeah, we'll try and do that one Saturday at the cheat loop. You've heard about it now, and then you can come see for yourselves and see that it is not short. It's just a very, very fast flat road. It's great for training on, and you will get a PB. I guarantee it. And if you don't get a PB, I'll give you your money back. So yeah, but
you're charging them. You're charging them. They're going to cheat them.
No, it's free, mate. It's free. Hence why they're getting their money back, Sean. Yeah, that was the joke. Yeah. Right. So I'll be honest. Yeah, that's pretty much it for me, Craig. Listen. Although I get the pleasure of speaking to you most days. It's been a privilege. Thanks very much for coming on to the Scottish Running Podcast. I've enjoyed it, and you've been good chat as always. Yeah. Anything else you want to add, Sean?
No, just thanks to Craig for coming on and chatting to us. A wee bit of a change. Getting a club runner on, giving them the club runner view on the Scottish Running Podcast.
Whoa. Club runner and international cross-country masters athlete.
Yes, sorry, mate. Sorry, yeah. You did say you've got your vest framed in it as well. I'm just jealous because the only vest I've got is an Everclear AC vest. So when people say about international vest, it just goes.
Nah. It's actually the joke. I've got my vest right, but I've not actually worn it yet. When I ordered it, I had to buy it myself. I ordered it. It didn't come in time, so I had to run a borrowed vest. And then about 3 weeks after the race, the vest came through the post. So I've got my Scotland vest, but it's actually still in its packet, unopened, never been worn. But
that's a shame. Does it even count? I mean,
just talking about races there. I won last year bit for myself. Some races are coming up. The flat and fast race that you're doing, Craig, that is sold out. So for anyone looking to enter that one is completely sold out now. The Podfather Stirling 10K, they've reached 800 entries, but entries are still open on Entry Central. That if anyone's looking for a 5K in September time, you've got the Run Right 5K as well. You can find that on Facebook, Run Right 5K, and they'll be on entered via Entry Central again. And our local Port Glasgow 10K, they posted yesterday on their Facebook they've got 18 spaces left for the Port Glasgow 10K. So anyone looking for a nice flat 10K in around Port Glasgow on a lovely Sunday morning, then get yourself right in there.
Brilliant. Thanks, Sean.
Well, thank you guys for coming on, and thank you.
Cheers.
Hopefully, Craig, your injury and your consistency gets better. And Pete, Pete, I couldn't really care less, mate. Just you have a good week, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, same. You too, mate.
Right, all the best, guys.